It's Christmas time on BBC One, but who cares? It's time for Who's Views and the Christmas Special 2023.
Hello, everybody, and Merry Christmas, everybody! Merry Christmas. Welcome to the Who's Views Christmas Special 2023. And as you can see, I am joined here by Michelle, by Brendan, by Phil, by Kirsty, and Paul. And yeah, thank you for joining us. I know this is going to be one of those nights where everybody's at parties or traveling home for Christmas with Chris Rea somewhere on a motorway. But here we are for you anyway. And yes, we've got lots for you. We have got coming up for you. We're going to be talking about, is the Doctor in the house? As we all go through our hopes and expectations for the Christmas edition of Doctor Who. We're also going to be looking at, well, various things like quizzes, press releases, and yes, the ratings game will be with us very shortly as well. So listen, before we start, everybody, I want to say a huge thank you to our youngest Who viewer, to Teddy of this.
That was excellent, JT.
Because he sent me this. Look at this.
Oh, snowman.
This is from him and his brother, Zach. Isn't that lovely?
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. It's gone up. And as well as that, Teddy also sent me this that he's done. Look at this. Now, this is a Doctor Who comic.
Oh.
Isn't this fab?
Wonderful.
4 stories in this, including one with the 12th and 6th Doctors. Look at that.
Oh.
Wow. Lovely.
Isn't it fabulous?
Just to keep Dad happy, that was, I think.
The stories are called The Clockwork Horror, and The Sixmas Curse, and The Nightmare on Skaro, and they're all... I mean, I used to do these sort of things, Teddy, when I was little. I used to do this, but I had to hand draw things and trace things and stuff. But thank you so much for that. And also I want to say a huge big thank you to everybody else that sent in comments and messages over the last week as well. It's absolutely fantastic to get all those comments and messages. But I just thought that was nice. Thank you, Teddy, for that. I really like that. That's brilliant. Isn't that cute?
That's adorable. And congratulations, Teddy. You actually have a bigger readership than Doomsday.
JT, you also came across, JT. That was like the broom cupboards. You had your Christmas cards. You had your gifts. It was like you were in the broom cupboard.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying any more about that. Oh, I could. Anyway, if you want to get in touch with us here at Who's Views, then please do. whosviews1@gmail.com is how you get hold of us, or you can leave any comments you like about the shows and the various WHOTASTIC panel members down there as well. And if you're also interested in coming on any of the new shows that we've got in development for 2024, then drop me an email. Tell us who you are, tell us a bit about yourself, but also more importantly, what TV, science fiction and fantasy shows you are interested in. So do get in touch there. It's all exciting. It's all kicking off here, isn't it? I want to say hello to the Timescales, who's joining us from San Francisco. Hello.
Hello.
I know, yeah. Everybody say hello. Everybody say hello to Pete. Pete's here as well.
Hello.
Hi.
Pete's also wishing everybody a Merry Crimbo. All right, lads. Merry Crimbo to you as well, Lar. All right. We've got Gore Vidal here. Greetings from Texas. Yeehaw. I've always loved South Fork. And Time Lord 2023. Hi, Who's Views. Merry Christmas to everyone. Hope everyone has a fantastic Christmas and New Year and is looking forward to Doctor Who on Christmas Day. It's so lovely to see you, Time Lord 2023. Keep up that positive energy, because you're going to have to give some of it to me. You really are. And Woodhouse 122 is with us as well. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, everybody. So yes, here we are with lots for you this evening. And we are going to start off right now with talking a little bit about, of course, where we're heading to. So where we left the Doctor last time, well, I don't know about you lot, but I'm still a little bit confused about where we left our favourite Time Lord last time, because he is now, of course, split into 2. There seems to be a 14th and 15th in the same time stream due to this, quote, by regeneration malarkey. So that's that. So that's where we're up to now. And we are about to meet, of course, the 15th incarnation. Is incarnation the right word? I don't know. And his new companion, assistant, whatever you want to call him, which is Ruby Sunday. So that's all coming up. And that's what we're here to do. That's what the WHOTASTIC panel are all up to do. I'm really confused. Can we call the Shooty Gatwa the 15th incarnation? Is that right?
I think you can, but you need to check the lexicon at the moment to see if that's PC or not to use that word.
Oh, God, you're kidding me, really? I'm so confused. I get confused, everybody. Why? Oh, gosh. So is he the right... He's in the same time zone as the 14th, though, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I see. No, I don't.
Just in the same way Patrick Troughton met Colin Baker. Think about it that way. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, God. Is anyone else confused?
Is that right, Phil?
No.
Yes, it's a fantastic story. So let's talk about the two doctors. A bit more positive.
Well, this is where we're at with this one, isn't it, everybody? That's where we last left the series. So this is really, in a sense, part 4, isn't it, of this whole thing that's coming along. But let's face it, this is a reboot. This is an entire reboot of the show because, the more I thought about this after the last time we talked about the giggle, he said, having to check what the name of the episode was. This is a new Doctor with a different TARDIS swanning off around time and space, isn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a reboot. It's a new series, and I think for many fans, this is a good place to come in. Everyone expose the show to new people, and for old people, if they don't like it, this would also be a good way to end it.
Get off.
Yeah. And
see, that's going to be actually the danger of this, isn't it? The way it's looking, it could be that there's more people getting off the bus than there are getting on.
Well, you see, what bothers me is you said reboot, and I thought that was what it was. But when I was reading this, he called it a reinvention, not a reboot. And then actually reinvention scares me more. Because if you're reinventing things, you're basically changing the whole of what went before, is what I'm assuming.
It's because science fiction and fantasy fans, Phil, we actually react to the word reboot, don't we? Because usually it means Battlestar Galactica, who did a fabulous job, don't get me wrong, but complete reinvention and reboot there, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it's not the same thing. But I think the show's already sort of changed from what it was and didn't... With the whole Timeless Child thing that I didn't actually watch, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But didn't that already sort of fundamentally change everything we've already seen before? And that was like, what, 2 years ago? So are we just going to keep fundamentally changing things all the time? And there's no rules anymore, and then everything just descends into anarchy.
Yeah. I'm still going to argue the case, guys, that there was a gentler way to reboot this, which was just doing a regular regeneration, as is the tradition, and just ignoring everything that had been, and just letting this new incarnation go swanning off like they had done previously in the past. Timescales are saying to us all, it's his belief that Shooty is the 14th. Tennant's 14th was the Meta-Crisis Doctor, and still number 10. Oh, gosh. I need a drink.
Marvel and
Oh, what's that? One at a time? Sorry, what's that?
Has anyone got a paracetamol? I've got a sore head now, just thinking about it.
And Chris, what were you saying?
It's getting all Marvel and multiversal and just stupid. And because they're hedging their bets, no doubt, for a 14 and 10 and spin-off show that he's just going to go for wee adventures. And it's just getting all multiversal. And stop trying to copy Marvel because it's not looking good for them. Stop all the multiverse stuff. It's boring now.
Again, it's another Disney thing, isn't it, really? Timescale is also saying, if you count the Timeless Children shown on screen, Shooty is the 37th. Michelle here is saying, I agree with Michelle. I think for many, the specials were a coda for many viewers. And hello to Meddling Funk, who's joined us. Good evening and Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. And to you as well, Meddling Funk. It's nice to see you. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, who wants to go first about what they expect from this Christmas Day episode then? First of all, who's going to watch it out of the panel?
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it as well, because if only just to criticize it. I don't know.
I don't know. It depends. If we're in the front room and I'm full and I can't move, I might watch it. I don't
be it on your own head. That's all.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, what are your expectations then, Kirst?
Not a lot.
Oh.
The interviews that Millie Gibson's been given and Shooty as well, I'm not really thinking much of it. I'll just go in a bit clear-minded and see what's cracking because it's none of like the anniversary stuff. But it's not that same excitement that you would be waiting for as a Christmas special, ignoring Jodie with all the New Year special, which I thought was daft in the first place. But hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised, but I'm just not really that optimistic. After Millie describing the new series as it, or like the Doctor as it's being sexy, I just kind of rolled my eyes and I've just ignored press and media a lot this week.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to see what's cracking at the end of it. So it's just a big fat prayer, and it'll be downed with a bottle of wine at the same time. So here we go.
You might need that though, mightn't you?
Yeah.
You might need a nice little drinky there to get you through. What time's it on? It's about to find out. It's on about
5 to 6, I think. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, 5 to 6 on Christmas Day evening, of course. You mentioned there, Kirsty, Millie Gibson interview. In case you haven't seen this was one of the interviews that she did recently. This was the Royal Television Society, and she basically talks about her previous life on Coronation Street, how she struggles with trying to keep spoilers, and she did give a few details away about Ruby Sunday. And one of the things that she actually mentioned on several interviews this week was that she thinks Generation Z will love this version of the show. And that's what worries me slightly, everybody. It worries me slightly that it's not going to be for everybody, this version. This is going to be for that market that we've spoken about before, that the BBC is so desperate to get so that it can retain the license fee as it moves forward. You know what I mean? I'm just a bit worried that, it's going to be a little bit contained.
So is it going to be a little bit like Doctor Who meets Hollyoaks? Is that what you mean by that?
Who knows?
I'm in the wrong generation. I can't speak for that generation. I have no idea what that means.
Yeah. Well, Generation Z, of course, the ones that the Dalek colorized version was made for, wasn't it? Snap, 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 snap. So I don't know this. Pete Harrington says he'll watch if he can find the remote. If you can't find the remote,
he's stuck on ITV at the moment. I think, yeah.
He's just saying no. Crackerjack was 5 to 5, absolutely. So that's good. Oh, and Timescales is saying I'll be the person in California watching it live with all the family over. Of course, yeah. So there'll be only him in California watching it, I reckon. Who else is sort of? Am I the only one that's a little? Kirsty, are we the only ones that are a little bit sort of wary, or are you guys a bit wary about this as well?
I'm a bit wary about it, but I'm more positive than some of you here. But I want to like this. I've said this many times before. I was quite taken with Shooty. I like Shooty. I think he's got potential to be good. It's whether he's served wrongly by the scripts, like previous Doctors were or have been in the past, in terms of modern Doctors. I'm glad it's back on Christmas Day, because that was a good place for a Christmas special, or a special for Doctor Who, rather, to have a proper prominent time of day to watch it, where people would actually be relaxing, not hungover like the New Year's one. But there's a lot. It's got a sense of humour, this episode. I'm hoping it's not too preachy, but I actually liked the Goblin song. It made me laugh, and some of the names of the characters of the goblins I saw in a press release are very, very funny. So,
well, we need to explain this, Michelle, because Phil doesn't know what we're talking about here. Phil, of course, is part of our WHOTASTIC panel. He's come to join us on our Christmas special. But he's been keeping away from all this because he's busy, basically, and he's working and he's got a life. So basically, Michelle, explain to Phil what the Goblin song was.
Okay, the Goblin song was released on December 11th as a single by Murray Gold. It is the Goblins singing about sauteing and serving up babies to the Goblin King. It's very ghoulish, very campy, very catchy. You love
it's
it or
very
you
dark
hate
as
it.
well, don't you think?
It's
Michelle?
very dark, but also
yeah.
it's very fairy tale-ish. It's very, the Grimm's brothers, that fairy tale of eating children, and it is being sung as the Doctor and Ruby Sunday are trying to save the little baby being going to be served up. It's campy. It's funny. I liked it. I thought it was hysterical. It's actually charted on the UK top 40 on iTunes and on the regular top 40. So it is kind of become an earworm. And all last week I was singing Baby Scones.
Well, you're going to get arrested. Brendan, what did you think of this song when you first saw this?
Well, I remember when we were talking yesterday and you said you loved it and you laughed and everything. I
did laugh. Let me just stress that I did. I was pissing myself laughing for hours because it's campus Christmas, effectively.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
That's a good thing, though, isn't it?
As they're throwing salt on the baby.
I mean,
yeah. I don't know. I was expecting something else. When they said, "Oh, we're going to do Goblin Song," it's Murray Gold, and I've written the lyrics, and I thought, right, okay. Something didn't click. I got the humour, I got all that, and I got the fact that sometimes in the past, Doctor Who does this very well, where you get it's actually darker than people realise Doctor Who is, and it's getting away with it. It's just getting away with the eating of babies live on tea time on Christmas Day. I mean, without a warning, unless so in a way,
and at 5 to 6 this time round.
There'll be a warning before it starts, Brendan, I imagine.
Yeah, people will still be digesting their sprouts. And
Shall I send Pearls to Clutch?
It's like Blackadder all over again, eating babies, isn't it? There,
but I just wonder whether it's classic. Unfortunately, it's classic RTD now, where he gets you talking about the episode, he gets you to watch it. It's all about the ratings, But then after that, not many of us want to go back and ever watch it again, and that. I don't know, we'll all watch it. We'll all see the Goblin Song. We'll say something about it. They reveal so many photographs and publicity now, don't they? I mean, you can guess the story already because you see so many pieces and you just have to knit them together. Add the song on top, which is the showpiece. The thing that bothers me is he said this is set in the template that he's now unleashed and he's going to have more musical items. I think he's going to have a musical villain for the arc, which I think is going to be Jinx Monsoon.
I think we need to understand there might be music in every single episode because Mr. Gatwa himself has gone on record this week to say that he's going to be singing in a particular episode as well.
Yeah.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because it's just all outrageous, isn't it?
Well, can I just say, and this is for Phil's benefit, Colin Baker sang in Trial of a Time Lord, didn't he?
Give over.
What was all that? If Colin can do it, why can't Shooty? That's all I'm saying.
I mean, what this has come through with this Goblin Song and the clip that accompanied it came across as a sort of, I don't know, a mix of the Goonies with all that other sort of Disney type stuff. Because as you may know, Who viewers, you may have seen this, but the Goblins do have names. You've got Gob Dylan, Janice Goblin, Not, Brian Ferry, and Ralph McTelf.
I love this. You may have noticed I'm quite juvenile. That love that all those puns were fantastic.
Yeah.
I love all that. Yeah.
But doesn't it actually go with the whole Christmas type theme though? Do you not think?
Yeah, not really, no. But it's a cheap gag. It's a cheap gag, to be fair. Which I love cheap gags. Really.
Well, it is. And then we do have. When I saw this piece of thing, which is the Goblin King, I thought, how much have they spent on that? Because this doesn't look like a CGI. That's an actual puppet.
I like the fact that man boobs as well. Fantastic.
Yeah, I feel represented now.
I love her microphone as the pine cone. That's just hysterical.
Yeah,
it's like when people practice in the bedroom with the brush, isn't it? It's like that,
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. It does look like that. So I mean, it is very Disney, isn't it? Really. But I think if just to let you know as well, if you're outside the UK, it has caused a little bit of a fuss because in the words Paul's got it written down there, baby butter for the baby scones, and they're going to eat this little baby that's trundling, aren't they, towards the Goblin King. They're going to eat it and live on it for a few days, like a Christmas dinner, basically. But that has caused a little bit of a controversy with some people around here just going, oh, you can't eat a baby. I mean, get a grip. The baby's going to be saved. We know that.
Yeah, who never read the Brothers Grimm and English folklore? Goblins and monsters eat people. I mean, we're okay with the dolls like exterminating people, but don't punch on the baby.
I've got this theory, Michelle, that my mum's going to watch this on Christmas Day and absolutely love that bit because my mum has this thing about nasty Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really naughty Muppets. She loves them, so I think she's going to look at that and just go, "Oh my god." You know, it's going to be. Peter's saying here the Goblin King looks like Jabba.
Yeah, he does a bit. Yeah,
does a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. And Gore Vidal here is saying the goblins may remind viewers of the Gremlins. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. It will do actually because they look a bit mischievous, don't they?
But allegedly, it's not the first time RTD's stolen from somewhere. The Poseidon Adventure, remember that?
Yes, the Voyage of the Damned. So
he's done it before. So, and Doctor Who copies all the time. If you criticise the Hinchcliffe era, they stole from everywhere in horror. So why not?
Yeah. Well, it's all the homage. Homage is the word, not steal. Good morning down there to Sherry. Good morning. Say good morning to Sherry, everybody.
Morning, Sherry.
Morning, Sherry.
And then we've got TARDIS Spider saying this new era may just bring a surprise a week. Oh, I have no doubt about that, mate. No doubt about that.
I think surprise has been optimal. Shock, maybe, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine us reviewing this as we go forward? It's going to be, we'll have to do a song and dance episode as well. Oh, hang on.
I think my catchphrase will be WTF probably from now on. I think, yeah.
Imagine Ruby or the Doctor singing "I could have danced all night, but I could have danced all night" by My Fair Lady. I can sing that. It's great. He's also seeing the names of them. He's yes. I mean, the names are again for these Muppety things. They are quite camp, aren't they? Yeah. I'm just wondering how many of the proposed audience will understand what these are about.
I don't know the last one.
I don't know Ralph.
Streets of London.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matchstick Men. Didn't he do Matchstick Men as well?
Did he?
I can't remember. No, he was when we were kids. He was always around with guitar and Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's good though. It should be allowed to be on different levels. For older people to get certain gags, like the old Batman TV show was like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Medlin Funk is pointing out that RTD has a thing about pointed teeth at the moment. We'll move on. Also, Peter Harrington's asking no Goblin Queen. We'll move on. And Love is the Drug. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. As I said before, the goblins look like the meat's been shaved, don't you think?
I think Janice Goblin is supposed to be the Goblin Queen. I think Janice is supposed to be the Goblin Queen. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh,
and that's
really?
according to the singers the singer of the pieces.
So are you suggesting that these two got it on?
Well, she is the lead singer. She is about singing about the Goblin King. So love is blind.
Yeah. And there's someone
more grotesque than the baby thing. Yeah. Oh, that's vile.
She's like the Princess Leia to Jabba. That's what she is.
Yay!
Love is love.
I don't know if Carrie Fisher, we thank you for that, Brenda.
Oh, God love her. Good love her. Yeah, so we're looking at this thing, the Goblin thing there. They're obviously some sort of Muppety Disney style monster type thing. We've all seen the pirate ship as well, which is attached to the rope ladder, which is there. That's what that's all going on. So I'm sure we would have all seen these pictures now. The sets again look incredible, don't they? They look really, really good. Yeah. You can see that there's money being spent on all this. It's crystal clear. But it's all going to come down again to the tone and the story, isn't it, everybody? And so, I don't know, it is all about that expectation, isn't it, Brendan?
It was really weird. Yeah, well, the expectation, but my expectations all over the shop because did anyone watch the documentary with Russell Davies?
Oh,
yes, I did. Yeah, I watched it.
Because what did he say, Paul? He was talking about I'll tell you what, JT, Jane Tranter, Julie Gardner, Phil Collinson, and RTD all slagged off the 80s Doctor Who. They said it was
Yeah.
They said it was a pastiche of entertainment, and they said it was pantomime, and it wasn't taken. And so now I'm laughing, Michelle, as well at those goblin names. But it's like panto when it's for the adults there and it's for the kids there. And so are we turning Doctor Who into, dread I say it, the 80s, which RTD thinks he's above?
Well, they've got to be very careful, otherwise it'll be like Chris Chibnall, and it'll come to bite you back on the arse, won't it? Like the open air programme. You know, if you criticise something that you don't think was very good and your product turns out to be worse than that, you're kind of asking for trouble, aren't you?
Pete, Simon's saying here, I've just watched it. As a vegetarian, the shock is limited. That's what we do to other animals, isn't it? I'm a vegetarian too as well. The thing about it is, it's not going to happen. It's part of this campness that's coming through on this Christmas special, isn't it? I mean, obviously the baby is very relevant to the story, and the danger is supposed to be. The kids might like it as well, you know, as well as the older ladies. But the kids might enjoy this sort of stuff.
I think it's a hard one to gauge because generally the Christmas specials are a bit of fluff, aren't they? They're not really to be taken too seriously. If you look back at them. You know,
is it? Because this, of course, is episode 1 of a brand new version. And I think this is going to set the tone for everything else that's going to come. I think this is it. I really do think this is. TARDIS Spider is saying that Anna says my hat is cute. Yeah. It's a Christmas tree. Can you see it? Look. There you go. It's a Christmas tree there, Anna. So thank you for that. But yeah, Peter's mentioned it here. It's Doctor Who. Is it behind us? It does look like a real panto, but I honestly believe that this will be the template for how the next 8 episodes are going to be as we move forward.
Well, he said Go on, Michelle.
I think we're going to go into a really camp era, and I'm fine with that. I like campy humor. I can go because I like the fact that Doctor Who offers a little bit of everything. So if you don't like this era, you can go into another era. But I think it's really funny that they're criticizing the 80s when it very much can look like it's going to be into the late 80s, 6th, 7th Doctor era of adventure. So I think that's the pot kettle and the kettle block on that one.
Yeah. I can't understand how they would dare to. I mean, the 80s churned out some incredible stories, and I look at the 3 that they've just produced, and I think we'll come back to that as we move forward into reviewing the episodes that are coming in April or May, whenever it's going to be. Because hang on a minute, you know, I'd rather watch anything from the 80s over those last 3 things we've just had.
And my point is, look, I've stuck with it. I've seen every episode. I have stuck with it, but I am starting to think, look, here's a question. Tell me a Russell Davies script that he's written that scared you. Because he's good at event, he's good at jokes. I don't mind the jokes, but I can't think of anything that scares me in his work. Moffat, yes.
I think Midnight's a possibility, don't you think?
He doesn't do them often, though, does he? He doesn't go out and scare that much. Unless it's pronouns.
So thinking of what Michelle was saying, that the point is he's good at the jokes and he's good at all that stuff, but he has to mix it because when everybody talks about Doctor Who in the media, we'll talk about behind the sofa. But where's the behind the sofa stuff?
No, it's not. It's not there unless the children react to the goblins in that sort of way, and they would have to be little. Maybe that's why they've put it on at 5 to 6 on a Christmas afternoon, because I can't see many adults. I don't know about you guys, but not many adults in my family were ever watching the telly at 5:30, 6 o'clock, and they were too busy doing other stuff. And
when they're asleep.
Possibly, yeah. I want to point out that Simon's disagreeing with me here. He's saying this isn't the template. This is the fun Christmas show. I hope you're right, Simon. I really, really hope you're right, because stay with us. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that Russell, of course, has said himself this week. And Pete is also reminding us that the Batman TV series in the 60s was uber camp. So maybe, I mean, we're going to have to. We're going to have to deal with that. Listen, I'm going to just have a little pause for us at the moment, because we do have a special guest joining us right now. And it's a special guest that's giving up some of his time for us right now. He's very, very busy right now, Who viewers, especially all the children in the audience. He's very, very busy at the moment because this is his time of year. It's the time of year where he actually has to do some work. So everybody, can you please welcome to the show, live from the North Pole, it's Father Christmas.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you, Father Christmas. How are you?
Can have a bite, Santa. They can hear us all. How are you? It's wonderful to hear. The bell's not too loud, is it?
No, it's not too loud at all. How are you, sir? How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much, JT. It's wonderful to see you. And of course, it's wonderful to see all of you. We've got Brendan there. Hello, Brendan. I remember you when you were just a little lad. And you love your little dollies, don't you? And we've also got Phil there. Hello, Phil. How are you? Your son hasn't fallen far from the tree, has he? And
Not far enough.
Can I call him he? Is that allowed? Yeah?
It's very much allowed, yes.
We've also got Paul. Hello, Paul. Baby, what's that? Baby butter for baby scones. Oh, that doesn't sound very wholesome. Oh, I wouldn't want that on any primetime television viewing. And we've also got Kirsty. Hello,
for you when you arrive on Christmas Eve.
What was that, Paul?
You don't want to leave some baby butter and baby scones for you instead of a cookie.
No. There's nothing worse. I've got a million lines and I can't use any of them. And we've got Kirsty. Kirsty, my goodness, you're a rose between the thorns, aren't you?
Hi, Santa.
Hello, my dear. What would you like for Christmas? Better storytelling, perhaps? Wonderful. You're all speechless for a change.
Some good storytelling and a pony, please.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Yeah.
What did you say, sorry?
Storytelling and a pony, please. Can I get some storytelling and a pony, please? I've been good.
Mrs. Claus, I think she's Scottish. I can't understand. I'm very busy, of course, at the moment. I'm getting ready to load my sleigh, if you'll forgive the expression. And I'm putting all my gifts for everybody together. And I'm getting ready for Christmas Eve. And all the elves have assembled some toys. And this year, I'm pleased to say we've got some wonderful toys. In fact, I can give you a bit of a sneak peek of what's going to be in your your snack.
Go on then, let's have a look.
Too many sherries for Santa, I think.
Yes. You've no idea. I've got a very good present for all of the Whotastic panel here. You all get one of. Oh, here we go. Hang on. You all get one of these. There you are. Look.
Yay!
It's a little Davros.
Just what we wanted.
I understand this toy is very much in vogue this year. Is that correct?
It absolutely is. People are snapping them up in case they get cancelled.
Yes, indeed. Wonderful indeed. What's that word? I hear that a lot, that word, cancelled. What does that mean exactly?
Well, it can mean a number of things, Father Christmas. It can actually mean that, you know, in the case of Davros, we're not allowed to look at him or talk to him anymore.
Oh, I see. Why? Because he's an evil, nasty man. Is that right?
No, not quite. But I want to ask you a question though. Have you ever heard of a naughty boy called Russell T. Davis? And if so, are you giving him any presents this Christmas?
Young Russell, I used to deliver presents to Russell back in we don't want to date him, but the 60s. And I know that's rude. I shouldn't refer to people's age. But I remember delivering toys to him, and I definitely remember delivering storybooks to young Russell. And he was ever so excited. He'd get these wonderful storybooks, and he'd bring them in, and he'd say, "Oh, look, everybody, I've got a wonderful story. Now, if you can access a typewriter, I'm going to rewrite the lot of them." That's what he used to do. He used to get all the classics like A Christmas Carol, all the Dickens, and he'd rewrite the lot of them and change them all, and he'd turn all the, Scrooge into a lady and all this sort of thing. He had ever so much fun changing things, didn't he?
Well, yeah, and I think he's still going. We've got some nice comments for you here from our viewers.
Yes.
We've got Sherry here saying, "Hello, Santa. Hope that she's on the nice list."
Yes, indeed. I probably wouldn't put your last name on there, dear. That might dox you. And what else have we got?
We've got Davros is quite popular, Santa, from the timescales.
Yes, well, that's what I've got all sorts of Davroses. And one of them here has lost his hair, the poor devil.
Oh, that's a shame. And Gore Vidal is saying, "You get a Davros, you get a Davros, you get a Davros,
yes,
and you get a Davros."
Did you hear that, Mrs. Claus? What was that? She said, "Hurry up, you old fool. You've got work to do." I don't know what she's talking about.
I know it's a very busy time for you. We do have Pete Harrington here in Liverpool. He says he wants a real Dalek, please.
A real Dalek? I'm going to have a lot of trouble getting that into my sleigh, but I'll do my very best. Let's hope they're not cancelled by Christmas, eh? What else? Who else have we got in the chat here?
We've got the time scale here as well.
Everyone's gone very quiet. You all right there?
We're good. We're good. We're just awed by your presence.
Michelle, that transatlantic wit, I tell you what. Never fails to amuse. Who have we got here? We've got time scales.
Yes. Can you please leave RTD2 a lump of coal, pretty please, as he's being naughty?
Oh dear, dear, dear! This R2D2 is one of the robots from Star Wars. Tell me, Michelle, what would you like for Christmas?
I would like some good Doctor Who.
Some good what? Sorry,
Doctor Who.
No. I'm afraid you're mistaken. It's now called Docky Who, according to the lovely ladies on the Doctor Who podcast.
Mm. Well, that's very good.
What about you, Brendan? What would you like for Christmas?
Actually, who was it in the text? I'd love a Dalek. I have to say, I'd love a Dalek.
You'd love a Dalek. I hope that's not a euphemism. And Phil, what would you like?
I would like just a lion, really.
A lion, did you say? A lion?
A lion.
A lion.
Yeah.
Oh,
if you can look after the kids from 5 till about 9.
Probably a good idea. Yes, that would be lovely. What about you, Kirsty? I've asked you, haven't I? You said good storytelling. And Paul, what would you like?
I would like a Cyberman outfit like Teddy's. Could I have one of those?
You certainly can. We'll have to find
one. A bit bigger, yeah.
And it's and the lovely. How about a wonderful round of applause for JT for putting these wonderful programs together? Isn't it wonderful? Tell me.
Oh, God love you. Well, I'm going to agree, Father Christmas, with what Timescale says here. All I ever want is Who. Decent, proper Doctor Who, and that's what we're talking about on this show, Father Christmas.
Yes,
we're talking about whether the next one's going to be good.
I did enjoy the old television show back between 1963 and 1989. You could always make sense of the plots, I found.
Well, can I ask you? Plots is a dirty word these days, Father Christmas. Can I ask you, Father Christmas, what you think of these little creatures? Are these little creatures like your elves at all?
Oh, goodness me. No. That's rather hideous. I don't think that's appropriate for children at all. I mean, It's one thing to frighten children with a big, ugly maggot in the corner of your living room. But to have songs about eating babies, I don't know whether is that true? I think that's a little on the... Well, I think one would need to seek some therapy, to be honest, if one was writing lyrics like that. But never. That's just... I'm a little old-fashioned. In fact, I've got some very sad news. Apparently, we've got word. I have word. In fact, the BBC sent me a letter. Where is it? Now, hang on a minute. I've got it here somewhere. They sent me a letter. I think I put it in with the toilet paper. Oh, yes. Now, apparently, there's a long history. Next year, this is going to be my final Christmas, I'm afraid. Because next year, I've been told that there's a long history of old white straight men being nice and benevolent, and they had a big problem with that, and apparently, quote, the whole production team had a problem with that. So,
oh no, that's awful.
Yes, unfortunately, as a straight old white male, not so straight after the brandy, but I'm afraid this is my final Christmas.
Well, we're not going to let that happen, Father Christmas. We on Who's Views will not let that happen. We're going to let you. We're going to back you up on this. I can tell you. You will stay.
Thank you very much, because I don't know where I can apply my skills elsewhere, to be honest.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to sound really rude or anything, but you're also quite old, aren't you?
Well, look, I'm getting up there, but I keep fit. I do the tide bow. And I do the swimming, but unfortunately the lake freezes up, so that's problematic in itself. Yeah. Is there too much echo on my voice, by the way?
No, it's absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. Yeah. Listen, have you got, for any of our younger Who viewers that may be watching this, have you got any messages for the younger Who viewers that might be watching?
I do. I would implore all of you out there to go back, get yourself one of those VHS tapes, and watch yourself some of the old Doctor Who. even the old black and whites, because watching it in black and white is part of the charm of that old series. And it's wonderful to see it without all the trimmings of modern day. I know I'm a little old-fashioned, but I do like watching the old shows. The editing was a little, well, a bit, it wasn't as, what's the word? These days it looks like a bit of a fever dream, if I'm honest with you, the way it's edited. And it's just a little hard to keep up with. So, yes, if you want good storytelling, Doctor Who, BBC One, 1963 to 1989.
So there's a good message from Father Christmas for you, kids. And he's right. Go and watch it all because it's brilliant. Peter Harrington's giving you a message here, Father Christmas. He's saying, God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you, Peter. Are we allowed to say God in these days? I don't know.
Yes, we are. We absolutely are.
My word. I hope I'm not railroading the stream, by the way. I hope you're all enjoying this. You're all gone very quiet. Keep the discussion going, please.
They have gone very quiet. Well, we are, as you know, and I hope you can stay with us for a while. But please do let me know when you have to go up. Well, it's up to you. Absolutely.
No, I'll stay as long as you'll have me. That's all right.
That's all right, because we are discussing and we are looking at. This is Who's Views. It is a Christmas special. In case you've just joined us, hello. It's lovely to see you. If you're not in the chat and you can come into the chat, come and join us in the chat and tell us what you think, because we are looking towards the 2023 Christmas edition of the new version, which I am not going to stop saying, the new version of Doctor Who, which stars Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson. And we're going through all our fears and our hopes and our expectations. And I have to say that we've also had friend of the show, Chester, from Chester's Reviews, sending us. I asked him to give some details of what his hopes and fears were. Let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what Chester said, shall we?
JT asked me to share some hopes and thoughts and fears for the Christmas special 2023, The Church on Ruby Road. I'm looking forward to seeing this. There is a part of me that's a little trepidatious because we don't know what to expect. We have kind of almost a reboot on the horizon. They're calling it Season 1. We had the bi-regeneration, which still a little confused on that, but it doesn't really bother me. One thing I do like about that, though, there is one thing I do like about it, like, the purpose of the bi-regeneration seemed to be so that David Tennant could retire, and then somehow that means that Ncuti Gatwa's doctor has less trauma because David Tennant rested for a while. I'm not sure how that works, but then again, I'm not sure how any of the bi-regeneration stuff works, so that's fine. But either way, the point is, Ncuti Gatwa has apparently going to be just having fun and not have so much baggage behind him, which I think could be a good thing. I would like to see this Christmas special be the start of a new era where we just have some fun adventures. I'm okay with of course there's got to be some emotion, and I'm okay with a character with like an arc, a story arc, but I don't know, I'd like to just see some fun adventures, not like, I'm tired of this. I don't want any more canon breaking stuff. No more Timeless Child, no more bi-regeneration, no more doctors coming back, regenerating into previous doctors, you know, all this controversial stuff that we've had like almost non-stop since Series 12 is just, I want a break from that. I just want some fun adventures. I think Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson, they seem to be doing, I think they're going to do good in the roles. They seem to have good chemistry. They've released a few clips and trailers. The song they released, I'm not sure how to feel about that. It's certainly interesting. Yeah, my only real trepidation for this new era is I hope that Russell T Davies isn't just making this for the Gen Z Twitter generation. A lot of modern shows and movies and TV seem to be, how can I put this, pandering to the younger crowd while forgetting the older crowd. I don't know, it's just weird, you know, seeing in the trailer the doctor going clubbing and stuff like that. I don't know, it just feels different. And could be good, could be bad. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know how to explain it. It just seems like some shows, they cater to that crowd so much that I just can't identify with it. Like, it... maybe I'm just an old fogey. Anyways, can't wait to hear what you guys think. Thanks for again for having me on, JT, and talk to you later. Goodbye.
Thanks, Chester. If you want to see more of Chester, his channel is called Chester's Reviews. And I just want to say thank you for your support this year, mate. It's lovely to have you back. Whenever I'm feeling a little bit down, I go and watch Chester and all his adventures and all his comments because he's absolutely cracking. So thank you so much, Chester. It's lovely to see you.
Sweetheart. You can see he's a little upset, the poor pet, isn't he?
Well, you can. And Father Christmas in the Whotastic panel, he does make some lovely points, doesn't he? He really brings out that side that, you know, Chester's been a fan since it came back in 2005 because he's slightly younger than I am. And what?
He's slightly more felt as well.
Well, that's another story. But you know, there's a real case here of, you know, what Chester does there, what he's saying there. It's actually true, isn't it? I mean, he's a little bit on the fence, as it were, saying, is this going to be something for me? And it is quite bizarre to think that it might actually not be. Do you know what I mean, guys?
I think I'm with Chester. I'd like things just to be a bit of an adventure, and no. I don't mind a bit of messaging, but I'd rather have an adventure. But I have felt since it came back that it wasn't for me, and I think this is now deliberately not for me. And I'm not sure that Generation Z watches television anymore, does it?
Well, that's the point. That's exactly the point we've been saying, Phil, because, you know, one of the things I'm thinking about here is that they are really going towards the Generation Z, or Z, as Michelle would say. They're going towards that generation with all this sort of stuff. He has actually also said that they're taking a lot of the science fiction element out to bring in fantasy.
Yeah.
And we have to question as adults, why is that exactly? You know, because they haven't actually said why. The only reason he has given is that he saw things like Stranger Things and was a bit jealous of what they can do. But Doctor Who is not the same sort of ilk, is it? It's not the same sort of show at all.
Make Stranger Things then.
Well, absolutely, and I think he has to be careful because he might be he might not be relating. Not just to as Chester was saying there, but to the British public as well, who have also still got to watch this.
The Doctor's normally out of time, though. He's not bedded down to a certain vibe. So if you're going to do all the agendas and messaging, which is all right in small doses, but the point is the Doctor's, like you said, Phil, it's an escapade, it's an adventure, and we're getting bogged down in modern Earth. That's the problem. We're getting bogged down in it. Mind you, I've got a question for Father Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Were you in the Christmas invasion blowing your trumpet?
Well, it's funny you should say that. I was in the Christmas invasion. In fact, that's a nightclub in Soho, as far as I'm aware.
Well, that's
next to the Inferno.
Yeah, we've got timescales here about saying he can't wait to see Millie Gibson's debut.
Oh, what?
Is that euphemism?
Her arrival in the show, her first episode.
Oh, yes. I was going to say, yes. I was going to say, go to her Instagram for that.
He is a bad Santa. You tell him, Michelle.
No, I'm just,
Do I have to tell Krampus on you?
Santa's
on the naughty list. Santa's on the naughty list. We'll put him on there.
Put him on his own naughty list. We've seen Millie Gibson as Ruby in a sort of way through that video that they released for the song, haven't we? So we're sort of getting the vibe there. It does come across in certain preview reviews from various elements this week that have been published that they do say that this relationship between Shooty's Doctor and Millie's Ruby is very Eccleston and Piper-esque.
He's a handsome young man, isn't he? Look at that.
He actually does look like the Doctor there, though. This is why the bi-regeneration thing possibly wasn't needed. You know, just, I don't know. Look at that.
Yes,
he's been cracking shots of her.
This is a very, very fit young man.
Yes, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, obviously, how that develops. But let us know in the chat what you think about how this is going to be coming on. Is anybody? I mean, are you guys on the panel? Is anybody worried about how this relationship could be?
Well, I don't think it's going to be the same way. I think maybe Ruby might fancy the Doctor in the same way that Rose did, but it won't be reciprocated from Shooty's Doctor, will it? I don't think.
It doesn't sound like it's going to be, is it?
No.
It's been mentioned, or has it been mentioned about Ruby's boyfriend that Shooty will fancy the boyfriend? And
that's just
where
that's a Reddit rumor. The Reddit rumor says depending on how the audience accepts the flirting will depend on how far it goes. So we may have another Yasmin, but I think it's not been determined in season 14. It's determined how it is recepted in maybe 15 and 16.
Oh, they handled that the Phasmin thing so well, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, that was cracking writing. That was, yeah.
I mean, it is quite bizarre because we're going to go now to a little bit. I found it. There's a website around the place called Collider. I don't usually look at it, but this came
on
up.
the naughty list, trust me.
Yes, well, they are.
It's a very long list, isn't it, Santa?
Yes, you've no idea.
Well,
the BBC board of directors are on here, I can tell you that.
There aren't any anymore, are there? This is what was published very recently, just this week, on Collider, with an interview with Russell T Davies. And this is their review preview. Doctor Who, The Church on Ruby Road review is a bundle of Christmas joy. The future looks bright for Doctor Who with these two at the helm. And then they carry on. The Church on Ruby Road is Ncuti Gatwa's first full-length episode as the Doctor and introduces his new companion, Ruby Sunday. The episode embraces LGBTQ plus themes and the concept of found family, making it more welcoming for, and I hate that word because it's a homophobic slur, viewers. The episode features a new on-screen villain, adds a mythological element to the series, and introduces a mystery surrounding Ruby's origin. Davis already made Doctor Who a more welcoming place for the homophobic slur community in his first set of new episodes by exploring LGBTQ plus themes and the gender spectrum with characters like the Doctor and Rose Noble, played by Yasmin Finney. I am delighted to say, and that's the reviewer of this, that this continues into the Church of Ruby Road. While we won't spoil anything, Davis, who is part of the community himself, has made sure that LGBTQ plus viewers can see themselves in the episode. And beyond the mere presence of homophobic slur characters, including the Doctor, the episode centers around the concept of found family, which is a popular narrative that homophobic slur audiences gravitate towards. Doctor Who is by very nature long featured this element, as each TARDIS team tends to turn into a chosen family over time. However, it's much more explicitly stated in The Church on Ruby Road as the Doctor and Ruby connect over their common backgrounds. Yeah.
How much was that person paid to write that article?
Sorry?
How much did the BBC under the table give them money to write that article?
Yeah, now we have to say that this particular website will be slightly biased in that sense. They are going to be looking at that because they are part of giving information to that alleged community. But it's concerning, and it really worries me to me this day as a Doctor Who fan of old, how they all seem to think that Doctor Who was never ever LGBT friendly in the past. Because of course it was, because there's hundreds of Doctor Who fans that are LGB, same-sex attracted. We've been there forever. I've met loads of people through it that were.
The show has always been about found family.
Sorry?
The whole show has always been about found family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe it's like it wasn't explicitly stated, but the whole series is these people who are, the Doctor is an alien from another world that has left or has been forced out of his own, was looking for his own family group.
But the other thing what about the fan community? I mean, look at us here. We've all found each other on here.
Yeah.
And the whole point is, but through Doctor Who and through it classically, this wanderer in time and space, we all found, we wrote to fanzines and all the rest of it, and fan clubs and all the rest of it. So the found family thing, it's nothing new. I don't know why we're having to make it new. And this idea that you have to always see yourself on TV. When we were all kids watching Play School, did you have a detached house? We didn't. It's an absolute nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, I agree here with Woodhouse 122. That review doesn't make me want to watch the episode, but it ties into what Chester was saying. There are certain themes that were coming in that he can't relate to. So while they're trying to relate to a very small minority, they're actually excluding a huge amount of people. And that's my concern about where this Christmas special is going to start off and where it's going to build through the following 8 episodes, really, if that makes sense.
May I enter an observation?
You can.
I remember many years ago delivering toys to Doctor Who fans, the lovely Dapole figures. Weren't they wonderful with their accuracy?
Yes.
And I used to deliver these, and I remember seeing those wonderful local groups, you see. And there was all sorts of different people. They were all sorts of different backgrounds, all getting together. And the one thing they all had in common was a lot of dandruff.
Well, I remember those days well, Father Christmas. So I think you brought a hell of a lot of them at a certain age, a load of deodorant.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah. And
The
acne prevention.
But it's absolutely true, isn't it? And if this is what they're picking up from this, now we all know where Russell's position is in this, Father Christmas and everybody. We do know where Russell is. We saw it with the Star Beast. If he's doubling down on this, I can see an awful lot of people switching off, because those dictates from that group, I mean, they are very, very, determined, shall we say.
And there seems to be a rainbow. There seems to be a rainbow element in Doctor Who now. Anyway, if you think of the Jodie Whittaker costume, if you think of the Flux poster,
I'd rather not.
And I'm sure you've got it there somewhere, JT. You know the poster with Ncuti Gatwa reaching out, as the Doctor always does in the poster, and it's multicolored again. And in a way, I'm just thinking of the normal punter, the normal casual viewer who sees this, will see certain things sees things in the show and says, okay, I can accept that, I can tolerate that, I'm okay with that, but this is a bit much. I mean, if this is the 4th episode in the relaunch, so to speak, I think the casual viewer really feels as though it's getting rammed down their throat a little bit.
But absolutely. And also to do this at Christmas, on Christmas Day, I can't wait till we're actually reviewing this, and I can't wait to see what the overnight figure will be as well, because how many people actually came back after those specials. But what also concerned me is that Rolling Stone magazine, some of you may have seen this, featured an interview recently this week with Russell, Don't Drop the T, Davis. And I didn't read all of it, but I do have a quote, if I may. This is a quote from him himself. It's always pushing forward, Doctor Who, always got something to say, and always tried to welcome people in. From my point of view, whatever I make on TV, I try to embrace homophobic word and homophobic politics. And and by that, I mean he's saying queerness and queer politics, which is, as far as I'm concerned, a homophobic slur. And that's like breathing, because that's my world, that's how I live. But surely if he had any responsibility, any ability, he would divorce himself from those for Doctor Who, which is not, what's the show he was calling? It's a Sin or anything like that, is it? It just seems odd. Some clever fan, sorry, Brendan, I'll come to you in a sec, but some clever fan also read the transcript and broke it down. And it said, this is where fans are quite clever when they're trying to get at you. What he said is that in this transcript, there were several pieces of information that he's separated. It's sitting there, the heart of family, viewing in prime time, BBC One, this is a radical show. It's like there's a hidden message there, isn't there, really? Go on, Brendan.
No, I just think RTD, but my concern, and in the documentary, I kept thinking Philip Hinchcliffe, Barry Letts, Verity Lambert always had editorial control of them and would be called into the office. Graham Williams told it needs more humour. And when you see Jane Tranter, Julie Gardner and Phil Collinson, they have so much trust implicitly in RTD that nobody's going to put the brakes on him. I remember you, JT, telling us that Jane Tranter once had a word with him after the awards ceremony. But he will have good ideas, but equally, when he's got one of those kind of slightly rickety ideas that really shouldn't, be seen on telly, there's nobody to stop him.
Yeah. Simon's bringing up an interesting point here. He says he thinks the new child viewers simply won't either notice or care about the sexuality. They too live in the real world. My point being, Simon, though, I don't think it should be in Doctor Who. I don't believe Doctor Who should be representative of society today. It's supposed to be about a Time Lord from the planet Gallifrey zooshing around time and space and other planets, battling Daleks and Cybermen and green blobs down a pit. I just don't understand why it's so fixated on bringing in all this soap opera element. It's not a soap.
If you bring sex into Doctor Who, which he has done deliberately since 2005.
Since 2005, yeah.
If you're going to do that, okay, you better be good with what you do, mate, because you know, coming from a safeguarding background myself, I'm sorry, mate, but if anybody reads into the TARDIS crew, if anybody reads into some of the dynamics going on in episodes, they might actually say that's a 1,000-year-old man, if you're allowed to say that, with a 19-year-old girl. You know, and you can start to do things like that. I mean, how far do you actually allow yourself to be? He's happy to analyze to death the Davros character of old. So are we not allowed to analyze what he's actually doing and displaying? The whole philosophy of Turlo, a schoolboy, Adric, schoolboy age, traveling with an old man in a TARDIS, going away with a stranger. How far are we allowed to analyze this like he did the Davros character?
Well, he is slightly hypocritical, though, isn't he, everyone? We can see the hypocrisy coming through. I mean, he says one thing and then he does another.
This
can I play devil's advocate?
Oh, sorry, Michelle. After you.
Sorry. So can I play devil's advocate for a moment?
Yes,
there's always been representation to a certain degree in Doctor Who. The companions have always reflected the times. You know, we have the teachers originally that were very much 1960s school teachers. We have, you know, the working girls like Joe, Tegan. Tegan has a job being a stewardess. Ace is a rebellious youth. These were all reflective of the time period, and people were always, to a certain degree, could see themselves or something that they wanted to aspire to be in Doctor Who. So to say that it's only been around since 2005 is a little bit disingenuous. I think it depends on how much you like it.
I don't know what I'm trying to get at is it wasn't continual. Because all the character was they got into the TARDIS and that's them. They're off fighting Wirren and Daleks and all this sort of stuff. It wasn't continual. The thing what he's trying to do, and this is, I always say this, if you go back to look at 2005 shows, especially the ones he's produced, they are incredibly dated. You know, you can tell that it's 2005 or 2006. What he's doing here is he's not only just presenting and enforcing a message. We should really get the critical drinker coming on to give us that, shouldn't we? The message, bless him. But, you know, God love him. But, you know, he is pushing that to be able to say, look, and when you look at it, it is an audience that is very susceptible to material, isn't it? It's I don't know.
As the master in the 1980s would say, if I might intercede, this is perhaps a little unsavory discussion for Santa. I must admit, it's not quite on brand. So I do have a lot of work to do, so I might get going. But I will say this. I didn't want to interrupt your conversation. I will say this. As heading towards a 1,000-year-old man myself, it always struck me the old television series that you used to all watch wasn't so interested in the day-to-day social issues so much as grander things. What life is in the universe, for example, or what happened to reptilian life that may have become extinct. I don't know, just an observation. I'm not an expert on these things by any stretch, but I will say this. I have read a rumor in my little rumor book, which looks similar to my naughty list. I have read a rumor that young Shooty?
Yes.
Is actually shooting through after filming 2 series. I've heard that he's not going to hang around very long. I'll leave you with that thought. I'm going to leave because I've got lots of work to do. I want to say Merry Christmas to all of you on the WHOTASTIC panel. Goodbye, JT. Well done on all your work and success. And Santa, unlike Doctor Who, Santa knows when to leave a party. So I'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, Father Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Isn't that lovely?
Now, what do I do here? How is this cool? What is this?
You get cancelled.
Thank you, Father Christmas.
We've just got ourselves a new PC, you see.
Get one of the elves to do it.
I just sent an email to the BBC accidentally. I didn't mean to do that.
Bye-bye,
everyone.
You haven't paid your license.
The license.
Don't tell anyone. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Santa Claus. Bye-bye. Oh, wasn't that fantastic?
It was. I think Santa's got
that was wonderful.
Impeccable contact. So that thing about Shooty must be true. So.
It must. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm getting a phone call here. Hang on. Sorry about this, everybody. It's live. Sorry about. Hello, Chris. Who? Oh, what do you want? Oh, sorry.
Sack Russell T Davies. Sack Jane Tranter. sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and I'll come back.
Say it again.
Sack Russell T Davis, sack Jane Tranter, sack Phil Collinson, sack Julie Gardner, and I'll come back.
Well, thanks very much. We'll let you know. Cheers, bye. Well, sorry about that. How rude.
He's coming back after shooting.
He's still here even after he's hired. That's just him just yelling from his loft window.
Can you ever just imagine? I mean, I think my number. Who gave him my number? Can't believe it. Absolutely outrageous. What's everybody saying in the chat? Thank you so much for joining us. Hello. Nice to see you. Merry Christmas, everybody. This is our Christmas 2023 show. Yes, we're having a bit of a laugh. And we are, of course, looking forward to the Christmas episode, which is broadcasting on the BBC, BBC One. Got to get it right. BBC One and Disney Plus on Christmas Day. Don't ask me what times, because I only know the British one, because I don't know what happens abroad. But there we go. Sorry about that. General Grievous is joining us. Hello there. Hello there. I'm getting better at the Obi-Wan impression, aren't I? Hello there. Simon is saying that the Doctor has led my life forward, changing in time. Absolutely. And the timescales, since the average human spends over 90% of 1,000 years being dead, it's wondrous to imagine what we could see being a Time Lord. All right. Peter is saying bye la to Father Christmas, and that was lovely to see him, wasn't it? And then we've got here, awesome. So long, Santa, fly carefully. It was a riot, wasn't it? It was lovely, wasn't it, Timescales, that he gave up some time from his workshop, because we know that he's very, very busy right now, don't we, kids? Sherry is saying here, I like the old episodes that reflected contemporary issues but didn't push it so hard. You could watch the story as it was, or also as a comment on wider issues. Yeah. That's very, very true, isn't it, really? That's all there. Let's have a look. Oh, and Stephanie Barrett. Let's have a look at what Stephanie's saying here. Your comments about how Phil, Jane, and Julie are too in awe of RTD to say something makes me think it would be better if it was truly a team effort without a showrunner like team. Do you know, Stephanie, I've been saying for years, I hate this showrunner malarkey. It doesn't suit, in my opinion. I prefer the old producer, script editor. Call me old-fashioned, I don't care. I prefer that setup. And where it is a team, and you know you've got all that coming through. And Woodhouse122 is saying watched Eccleston in the Dodger Christmas special. Christmas, I don't doubt that. Do you guys? I think he's born to be played in Fagin, to be honest.
Great actor.
Yeah. Right, who fancies a swim? No, that's something else. Who fancies a little bit of a quiz?
I do.
Yay, I do.
I do.
Right.
Well, Gator. Come on.
Let's have a bit of a quiz.
Unfortunately, before this quiz, I am going to have.
All right, Kirsty. Well, listen, Merry Christmas. Kirsty's off out to a party.
Merry Christmas, Kirsty.
We'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
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 Right, and here we go with this. Yes, indeed. It's a question of who with me, Sue Coleman. Nice to see you all.
You're not going to be
So this is a bit of a fun little thing here. There are 3 rounds to this Christmas quiz, everybody. So I hope you get to know this. Now, this will also ask you or show you how much attention you've been paying to some of our shows this year, because it's mystery guest round, everybody. Yes, it is mystery guest round. So we've got several guests that are popping in now who are heavily disguised, and I want you to tell me who it is. From the WHOTASTIC panel's point of view, you have to shout your name before you give us the answer. Please play along in the chat as well. So here's the first mystery guest.
Brendan.
Dominic Glynn.
Oh, I think it was Brendan there, wasn't it? Brendan there that got... Yeah, it's Dominic Glynn. Dominic joined us on several shows, actually. He popped up on our first Sound of Whoosic show, where he told us all about his time working on Doctor Who between 1986 and 89, and told us about his theme and everything like that. And then he also came to tell us a bit more about his brand new Survival Remix CD, which you can get now from his Facebook page. Does anybody in the chat get that? Guys, you need to help me in the chat, everybody, as well, because... I've got to flip between the tabs. So if you guys can help me as well, if anybody gets the answer right in the chat, okay?
Be nice, my mother's in the chat.
Yes, hello there. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I saw you, so it's lovely to see you. My mother's not. Anyway, who's ready for another mystery guest? That's a cue.
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay, we are.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
All right then. Who is this?
Paul, Alistair McGowan.
Yay! Well done, Paul. It's Alistair McGowan. Alistair has also joined us on the show in the past year. He came on with Phil to talk about the original comic strip version of the Star Beast, and he also told us all about his brand new book that's still available from Telos Publishing called The Fanzine Book, which was a great interview. That's on the Merchandise Paradise playlist. Okay, let's have another one, shall we? Let's have another mystery guest.
Brendan, is that Richard Marson? No?
Yes, well done, Richard. Well done, Brendan. Yes, this is Richard Marson. Again, he joined us to talk about many of the books he's got from 10 Acre Publishing. So thank you to all of them for coming on. He's written books about Biddy Baxter from Blue Peter, which we tied in with our Blue Peter special, and Verity Lambert, and of course, John Nathan Turner as well. Right, so our scores at the moment are Paul has 1,000, Brendan has 6,000, and Michelle and Phil have nothing.
Late bloomers, though. Late bloomers.
Late bloomers. Okay, now here's
my round.
Here's another trick. This isn't somebody that's been on the show, but who is our next mystery guest?
Paul, Terence Dix.
Well done, Paul. Yes, it is, of course, the late and much missed Terence Dix there. And straight on to the next mystery guest. Here we go. Who is this? Ooh, silence.
Well, that's a tough one.
It's the ears, isn't it? Who is this? I'll give you a clue, everybody. A writer.
Paul Brian Hales.
A round of applause there, I think, for Paul, because yes, it's Brian Hales. Well done. There he is there. Yeah,
I recognise the beards there. That was it. But I don't get much. Just to say that, I don't get much.
Right. Well, Brian Hales, Phil, in case you,
I'll have to Google it.
Yeah, no, you don't Google it. Brian Hales, of course, was the creator of the Celestial Toy Maker. And for bonus points, anyone? Who else?
Ice Warriors.
Correct. Yeah, we've got the Ice Warriors as well. So that's that one there. Okay, we've got another friend of the show here. Who is this?
Oh, Brendan Paul Hayes.
Correct. It's Paul Hayes. Paul's joined us on a couple of shows here. Yes, yeah, he's joined me on Merchandise Paradise to tell me about his two books again from 10 Acre, The Long Game being one of them, and Pull to Open. But he also came on to talk on our Diamond show, on one of our Diamond shows to celebrate the show's 60th anniversary. And the last one in this, our mystery guest round. Who are we doing in the chat anyway? Is anybody getting them in the chat? No? No, okay. All right, who is this?
Paul Alpha Centauri.
Yes, I think you all got that one. Well done. But it is Alpha Centauri, of course, who will be coming onto the show in the future. Yes, I've signed a contract.
It looks good with a beard.
What the pronouns you're going to use?
It's like it was.
I don't know what pronouns are going to use there as well. Pete Harrington is saying ice baby here. That's fine. Timescale says yes. Paul Hayes rocks. He's a lovely interviewer, isn't he? He's absolutely fantastic. Pete's also saying lovely spectacles there. Fantastic. Right. Okay. So we got all that. What else? Oh, you're all very. Nobody. Oh, don't join in the chat then. It's absolutely fine. Don't be fine. All right. So we've got all that coming on. Yeah. We do have another part of the quiz. Should we do it now?
Yes, do it.
Are you in the mood to keep on with this?
Yeah, I'm confident because of the Alpha Centauri. That's how we're going now. We're going classic. Come on. Go hard on the classic.
This is round two then of a question. Oh, look, he's up for this one now. This is the round two then of a question of who viewers. If you do know the answers, put them into the chat. This round is where are we? So, where are we here?
Oh, Totter's Lane.
Totter's Lane.
I think Brendan just got in there very, very quickly, but yes.
I didn't use the name, sorry.
Yeah, okay, that's Totter's Lane. All right, here's the next one, everybody. Where are we here?
Paul, Never Beacon.
Correct.
Or the Ark.
Well done. We are. We're on the Ark in space.
Yeah.
You're very quick. Aren't they quick, Phil? Aren't they quick, Michelle?
Yeah, can I
Very
get a head
quick.
start or something?
Then Brendan cheated. He didn't put his name in first. That's
Exactly, so that's
qualified
on
in
you.
Jeopardy.
Michelle's a grass. What's going on?
You better explain that to her because she's American.
Oh,
Right.
it takes too long.
Yeah, as long as you say your name first, it's fine. We'll let you speak because that's
Now
that's your buzzer, Brendan. That's your buzzer. You see, that's
Phil, get ready for this because you should know this one.
Right.
Where are we?
Okay. We're in the time lapse, Phil. We're in the time lapse.
Hey, give him a round of applause. He got one in the right. Yes, we are there. We are there. What was that?
Look at all them Contron crystals.
Yeah.
And the tinsel being Christmas.
Look, the guys are playing here. Absolutely fantastic. Attaboy Phil, says Kirsty. She's supposed to get ready to go out. Get out, lady. Go on, go and have a lovely time. Timescale's got it right as well on the arc. Pete got it right. Arc in space. Oh, goodness me. What else we got there? Oh, Pete's saying everybody's too quick. Absolutely. And the pickle. Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so now, here we go again. Where are we this time? Come on, Michelle. Come on, Michelle. Where are we this time?
Paul.
Oh, it's Nyman. It's.
Yes, it was Paul. Paul got that one there. Say it again, Paul.
It's the Leisure Hives, Argolis.
Correct.
Do you know?
What kept that one away?
Do you know what I thought that was? I thought
it
that
was
was.
the Nymon, though.
I said, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping that would be a sort of double bluff, but no, you got it straight. I was hoping they'd all go the Horns of Nymon viewers, so I could turn around and go, oh, no, you don't know.
I told you I'm a SWAT, GT.
What was the GT? What was the planet though? If I said the Horns of Nymon, that wasn't the answer though, was it? What's the planet called? It's
I can't remember. Season 17 Blu-ray coming next month. I'll be watching it then. Right, okay, all right, everybody okay in the chat? Now this one is for everybody in the chat. So guys, watch the chat for me. This one is just for the chat. All right. So everybody in the chat, where are we? Don't say anything, panel. Where are we, chat?
Oh, I know this one.
So do I.
Right. Yeah. Keep an eye on the chat for me, everybody. Is anybody saying anything? Where are we in the chat there, everybody? Where are we? It does take a couple of minutes, so we'll come back to that. So if everybody watches that, we'll come back to that one. But that is the one for the chat. I'll show you again. Where are we, chat? Okay. Right. Now, this one is for the Whotastic panel. And, of course, you in the chat as well. But the Whotastic panel, where are we?
Oh, the Rannies can't TARDIS.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Gosh, I thought this was... I'm going to sulk in a minute. I thought you wouldn't get these. It's the Rannies TARDIS. Yes. And isn't Kate O'Mara gorgeous?
GT, you obviously don't know who you're dealing with here.
I'm damn well going to make this so hard next time.
We're coming across as too nerdy. This is like
we are. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So.
I think me and Michelle get to walk away with our heads held high.
Yeah, you got
because you're not nerds at all.
After this.
I'm going to show this one for the
time lash. Remember, you got the time lash.
You got the time lash. Yeah, I'm just going to show this one again to everybody in the chat. Show you this one again. Have a look at it again. This one is for you. Where are we here? Where are we here? Okay.
I can't see any correct answers yet.
All right, panel. Where are we? Where are we? I might have just got them. Oh my God, this is the stuff we want. They don't know. I might have stumped.
I'm just gonna say Brendan, Planet of Evil. I don't know.
You're wrong. Let's just have a quick look over to the chat, see if anybody knows where that one is.
Is it Spyrodon?
No. Nobody knows on that one yet either.
Forest in it.
It's got what?
What?
What did you say there?
I was just going for something with a forest in it.
Can I say Paul, Seeds of Doom?
You can, and you're wrong. Michelle?
Oh, go on.
Michael is wrong here. He says it's the UK. Well, technically it is, but no, I'm not having it.
Not the Awakening, but what was the other one?
Can I
Kirsty,
say
near enough?
Yeah. Can I say Androids of Tara?
You can say the Android Zatara, but you're not going to get a round of applause for it.
It's
What
not
about
one of
Mask of
those new Christmas
Mask of
ones, is it?
Mandragora?
No. I'm going to give you now a very technical countdown. Are you ready?
Very digital countdown, that.
Yes, it was. It cost me a fortune, that one. Cost me a
You
fortune.
sound like the Wicked Witch on her bicycle.
Oh, I've been told that many times, Michelle. Don't worry about it. You know, water for ducks, that love. Well, that one stumped. That one stumped the panel. Let's go over to the chat to see if they've got that one as well. Is anyone? I've got some answers for the other one, which we'll come to.
Ben, I'm really embarrassed now, aren't you?
Darren, hiya, Darren. Merry Christmas. Stones of Blood, where the campers were. Good, but no. Woodhouse 122, Creature from the Pit. Good, but no. Kirsty saying countdown clock. Get out, will you, lady? Go out. Go. What else was there? People saying there. Planet of the Daleks. Good, but no. So I'm going to put you all out of your. Oh, what's this? Stephanie is saying. Maybe ancient Egypt. Oh, that could be for the other one. I'll bring that. I'll come back up for that one. Right. So I'm going to let you out of your misery on this one, everybody. There we go. We are, in fact, on Traken.
Oh.
Yes. The Grove in the Traken Union. Oh, well, there you go. All right. Here we go. Last one in the Where Are We round, everybody. Stand by your fingers. Ooh. Where are we?
Paul Photo Doomsday on their banking ship.
Oh, round of applause. Well done.
Very good.
I love that part of the set as well. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? But you're absolutely right. Absolutely right on that one. Okay, so let's go back to the chat.
And that was Peter Davison's first scene that he filmed.
Yes, it was.
Michelle, you'll get extra points for any extra information. That doesn't count. Okay,
No, you don't. No. Michael was guessing there, Tara. So no. Okay, so we've got all that. Okay, so let's have a go. Going back to wherever we are up to. I'm trying to get everybody here. Oh, we've got some great guesses. So let's go back to where are we for the chat. It was this one here. Where are we? The chat was saying a few things about where this.
Michael's got it correct.
Well, let's have a go. Let's go through what they're saying first of all, though. We've got here Curse of Fenric from Pete. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't. We've also got Peter. Oh, yeah, again, Pete comes up with something else. He comes up with the 5 Doctors, which is the right story. But yeah, we've got to give it to Michael, because the answer is, of course, it is indeed the Tomb of Rassilon. So well done, everybody. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay, so fantastic. All right, how you finding it so far? How you finding everybody?
Good.
I'm fine.
God, okay. Right, now on a question of who, everybody, and everybody in the chat can deal with this as well. This is where you have to complete the sentence and fill in the blank.
Okay.
All right. No, this is meant to be fun. It's meant to be fun, this bit. I don't want the real words, okay? But here we go. Okay. I will read this out, and then whoever wants to answer the question, shout your name and give me the missing word. Here we go for this edition of A Question of Who. This one is, the new Doctor Who debut felt like a timey-wimey slap to the blank.
Michelle, bottom.
Michelle, go on.
Bottom.
Slap to the bottom. Oh, kinky. Anybody else want to go? The new Doctor Who debut felt like a timey-wimey slap to the... Oh, God.
Are we allowed to say balls?
Yes, you can do. Oh, God. That's what... Okay. Timescales is saying face. Michael is agreeing with you. So is Kirsty. Pete's agreeing with Michelle with body. And Simon is saying memory. Absolutely. The real answer, actually, just to let you know, of course, is face. The new Doctor Who debut felt like a timey-wimey slap to the face, and that was from The Verge and one of their magazine articles very recently. Okay, here's another one then. Blankety blank time. Here we go. Russell T. Davies reveals reason behind change to iconic Doctor Who villain. Society has blank.
Has gone mad.
It's gone mad. It has gone mad. Brendan, what did you say?
Down the pan.
Problematic views.
Oh, problematic views. Regressed.
Society was bi-regenerated.
Timescales is saying transformed. Simon is saying grown up.
Society has stopped watching.
Oh, I like that one. I say, yeah. Timescales is saying awoken. Ooh. Peter Harrington is saying crumbled. Oh, look at this. Darren is saying degenerated. No, brilliant. No, excellent, everybody. Well done on that one. That one, of course, has come from The Independent, one of our newspapers over here. And the actual quote was, society has moved on. Has it? I think we're a little bit more advanced than what he thinks. All right, another one for you to fill in here, everybody. Here we go. BBC is too blank, say working class audiences.
Brendan, up their own asses.
Yes, we like that one. The BBC is too blank, say working class audiences.
Expensive.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good
TV
one.
license gag.
Yes, that's a very, it is really, isn't it? Oh, Simon, Michael's saying boring, and Simon's agreeing with you, Phil. Expensive.
Out of touch.
Yeah.
Niche.
Problematic.
Problematic, yes.
Pompous. Niche.
Sorry, Michelle?
Priggish.
Oh, yeah.
Did you say British?
Priggish. Prick.
Yeah.
So
Woke, that's the time scales. That's a big word over here in the UK.
Out of touch.
Out of touch. Oh, actually, what this came from the Telegraph, and what they actually said is the BBC is too politically correct, say working class audiences, and that was a big story actually over the last couple of weeks as well, where the BBC have actually said, or there was a report that was handed into the BBC to say, you know, the working class, you've lost them now completely, and it actually does tie into the fact that it has been a fantastically busy year for the BBC here in 2023 because they've done incredibly well with collapsing viewing figures every single week. They have lost, at least we think, at this year alone, 400,000 license fee payers, and projected by 2027 they will be in £400 million deficit. So a round of applause to the BBC. It surely knows what it's doing, for crying out loud. Darren says stuck up for that one. That's a good one as well. You're all getting a Who's Views pencil one day. Problematic. Yeah, Peter, that is one of our keywords on this show, everybody. It's problematic. And the problematic game is going to be coming back in the new year as we approach the new series. So stay tuned with us on that one. Right, where are we? Oh, yes, we've got another one here for you. Okay, here we go. This is a big blank, everybody. And although the show has always been progressive, look at the number of stories. Look at the number of stories over the decades about, for example, threats to the environment. This special is blank.
Shit.
Great mind.
I think.
Great mind. So yeah.
You need that big blank because it's going to say this special is about LGBTQ, AAA, PP, RI, and it'll go on for the whole night.
The entire alphabet there, yeah.
Well, that is quite true, actually, isn't it? That is it just, and then there's a plus at the end of it anyway, in case they forgot anybody. Oh, we're just having a plus. Yeah. We're just having a plus there as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, come on. What else is everybody saying here? Come on, what else can we get into this one?
Apocalyptic.
Yes.
I think Shake's definitive. I'm really sorry about that. Really.
Timescales is saying mismanaged. That's a nice way of saying things here, Timescales. Well done. Woodhouse 122, dull as ditch water. I haven't heard that in ages. I love that. That's fantastic. Darren is saying a lot of hot air. Fabulous. Pete's saying crap. Which is, Pete, thanks for that. You're so much more politer than some of the members of the Whotastic panel. You really are. And Timescales
exclamation marks in to fill the gap as well.
And Timescales is saying allowing Russell T Davies to preach his own agendas with no restraints. And Simon is saying here, made for everyone but pleasing no one. That's very clever. I like that one. Patronizing, says Michael. Oh, yeah, indeed. The real thing, of course, came from BBC Culture. We featured this back a while ago from their own in-house resources. And they said this special is preachy, and by the end, little more than a delivery system for the message when they were talking about the Star Beast. And we know now what they mean, don't we? We really do. You notice they've changed the hat?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
thank you.
Now, yeah.
Well, it's because all the neighbors' cats were coming over and was trying to attack him with that tinsel. So we were seeing that on screen.
It was getting over. It was quite itchy. I was like, oh, can't wear that.
Is that K9's hat you're wearing now, is it?
Yes, this is the one K9 was wearing the other night. For our K9 and Company review. If you haven't seen it, please go back and have a look at it. We had a lovely time. We had mince pies and everything. That reminds me as well, if you haven't got a mince pie, get one now before they go stale as you're watching us on this show. Maybe a little brandy or something like that as well. Yes. Here's the next one then. Fill in the blank on this one. Doctor Who's first 60th anniversary special is a blank worst nightmare.
Fans.
Fans.
Fans, yeah, okay, yeah. This was from the Metro. This was quite famous, this one. This really hit. Thank you, Michael. I know. Yeah, I mean, this one really hit a nerve on this one, didn't it? This one. Doctor Who's first 60th anniversary special is a blank worst nightmare.
Doctor's worst nightmare.
TV viewers' worst nightmare.
A Dalek's worst nightmare.
All good stuff. All good stuff. Pete's saying here, Fab Hat looks like it has a bounce to it. Deliberate. Well done, Pete. Deliberate worst nightmare, but it's not that one. Codgers says Simon.
Worst nightmare.
Well, yeah.
Whovian's worst nightmare.
Yeah. Well, woke worst nightmare. These are all cracking stuff. Thank you for playing along, everybody, because this shows me this works. So this is great. Yes. Well, actually, we're going to go back actually to the discussion in a second. But what this was Doctor Who's first 60th anniversary special is a TERF's worst nightmare.
I did nearly say that, but I didn't dare, to be honest.
I saw
that word, basically what they mean there, of course, is woman. And then they use that word instead, didn't they? But that was from the Metro. And this did cause a little bit of fuss. And on that note, I think what we'll do is we'll leave the quiz. I hope you enjoyed that, everybody.
Well, who won?
Me. So let's we'll leave that bit there. And let's get back to the conversation, shall we? Our timescales is saying here, love the quiz, great fun, brilliant. I'm glad you did, because I might be bringing it back after Christmas. So if you are interested in joining us on Who's Views, especially for this little quizzy thing I'm going to be doing, then please do give me an email. You can get in touch via our email address, which is whoviews1@gmail.com. Because we're going to be piloting a couple of things in the next couple of months. So give us a clue. There's another one there. Yes. Give us an email if you're interested, and that would be really.
We have a leaderboard.
Well, that's all coming up.
Because at the minute, me and Michelle
don't rush me. Bring back the quiz. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll do that. We have got the ratings game coming up very soon as well. So that's another quiz for you all, isn't it? So that's good. I wanted to talk about that last comment here and tying in with what we're talking about with the expectations about what could be coming up for Christmas special and beyond here. With an interesting article I found as well, which is about knowing your audience. And I don't think Russell does. So we spoke about this element of all this sort of, I hate the acronym, but the LGBTQI, BBC ITV Channel 4 stuff coming in, all this stuff coming here and how he's going to push that into the show. We've heard all the rumors that are surrounding that. That's going to come back, in time as well. But does he actually know the audience he's looking for? In my eyes, that's a very small minority audience, and it's not even part of the actual Doctor Who fandom. They've just been added on since 2018, really. And they're all bigging this up, you know, and let me know what you think about this, people. But then this came along this week, didn't it? Russell T Davies told Helena Bonham Carter to turn down the Doctor Who role. Now, this came about because Russell and Helena Bonham Carter, who stars in the ITV drama Nolly, which has been broadcast this year via ITVX, which is their version of the iPlayer, but which is being launched next week on ITV1. The station on terrestrial television. So they're re-promoting it again, the two of them. But they were actually on BBC Radio 2 together, presenting a show on BBC Radio 2. Didn't hear it, but I have read all the comments that came on the back of it. It turns out that the Doctor Who production office, once upon a time, offered Helena Bonham Carter a role in Doctor Who. And Russell, unbeknown to anybody else, got in touch with her and said, don't take it. There's bigger things for you. So it's a hint that Helena Bonham Carter could be on her way into the new version of Doctor Who. But what happened after that is that there was a fuss on Twitter, X, from the alleged fans who are actually who Russell is trying to aim the show at. One of them, who I won't mention, and I won't put the thing up this time now, and I'll quote this: "Please don't cast turfs on Doctor Who, Russell. Please commit on keeping this show a safe space for all of us, queer homophobic term, fans and the queer homophobic term, people in your cast and crew." What's going on here? Well, I mean, this isn't the fandom I know at all. And then a drag queen came along on the back of that. RTD is liking comments on Instagram similar to this one, the one I've just read out. So hopefully this means he is actually aware now and will listen. Proof will be in the pudding, I suppose. So basically what they're saying is if a woman stands up for women's rights, they shouldn't be employed in the show.
Well, it's also just free speech. It's you don't have to agree with everything a creative stands for. If you're able to still be a fan or like what they do, but not necessarily agree with everything that they support. I mean, I am fans of lots of people. Do I agree everything they say 100%? Absolutely not. We've gotten into this world now where any transgression is going to damn you for all of time. And the idea of allowing other people's free speech, there's a saying in the United States, you know, I don't agree with what you say, but I will fight for your right to say it. And I think that's what is also being turned away, especially in this fandom of anything in your past that you may have slipped up or not evolved in thinking or oh my God, you changed your mind. It's going to come back and haunt you.
But this is what we've all suspected, which is TV and Doctor Who is made now more about what it represents or symbolizes rather than what it actually shows. So, for example, knowing what an actor or an actress does in their private life or has actually said is irrelevant to the storyline. And of course, you know, to talk that trot about, you know, safe space, well, isn't Doctor Who meant not to be a safe space? Behind the sofa, shall I remind RTD the DNA of the programme to scare the little kiddies? It's not supposed to be a safe space. And actually, the point they're making is about an actress's, you know, a tweet. This is irrelevant to good story writing. So some of the people who say they're Doctor Who fans are in it for the wrong reasons because they're more bothered about the message than actually is the programme producing good stories.
I think that's an excellent point here as well, that you just made there, Brendan, because it does seem to be, and it is basically, you know, I mean, a load of us on YouTube will know, and a load of us in the fandom will know, you cannot please these people. There's always going to be something else that you haven't done right. So we've seen the Davros Gate controversy coming through. We've now seen what happened in the Star Beast. We've seen what happened with the pronoun stuff. We've seen what happened with the bi regeneration, because some people are saying that he had to get the word bi in somewhere, didn't he, for nonsense sake. Yeah. We've now heard the rumours of what's coming with Shooty's doctor, and you mentioned a couple of them here before. But this is, I mean, for them to turn on him shows, it says to me, it speaks volumes, because here he is with a woman that he's worked with already, a woman that he knows, an incredible actress as well. I mean, look at her in the Harry Potter film. She's really scary, actually, for the kids. You know, she loves every minute of it. And Helena Bonham Carter in Doctor Who would be with a good script, she would be a real sales thing, wouldn't she? Go Vidal here is asking, why is Carter controversial? Right. The reason that she's controversial. Oh yes, and Kirsty's just replying to you there as well. But the reason is she's controversial is she supported J.K. Rowling's right to have a voice and an opinion about what women's rights were, and she supported that. So that automatically made her an enemy, as it has done with lots of people. To be quite honest,
didn't you also say in an earlier show, JT, maybe the breakfast show, when we talked about Davina McCall's casting, that she's obviously been brought back into the fold because she also has views that maybe aren't. Yeah.
Yes, and that's one thing I wanted to point out, because here she is. This is Davina McCall. For those of you outside the United Kingdom, Davina McCall is a presenter, journalist here in the UK. She's a very popular woman as well. She's been around for what? Oh God, I don't want to say. She's been around for quite a long time now. So she is part of our fabric. She has been on television for all that time with some of the huge shows. She launched Big Brother back in 2000, and that was a massive show. And she's done other things. Now, one of the shows she's doing at the moment is a very popular show with some people called Long Lost Family. And that ties into this episode that's coming into the Christmas episode. And she's playing herself, basically. She's playing a version of that. But Davina McCall has stood up for women's rights. And here she is in Doctor Who, because some of those views, if not all of those views, will clash with Russell and everybody else on working on Doctor Who now, because of all we know what's going on. So it's amazing that she's there, Paul.
It's only a matter of time before that's going to be picked up on anyway, isn't it? Later on, after it's been broadcast. Mm-hmm. What annoys me about this backlash is, if you go back to the Noel Gordon thing, the Nolly thing, that was about 18 months ago, wasn't it? Why did they not pick up on that at the time, if that was such a problem? I don't understand that.
Well, because these particular fans wouldn't know who Noel Gordon is, so therefore they wouldn't watch it. And B, I think it's only Doctor Who that they're really trying to push this into.
It was quite highly publicised, wasn't it?
Huge, and it was a massive success for ITVX.
It was. It's a great show. I recommend it. It's very funny.
Yeah,
It's the loss of the ability to have a civilized debate in both the United States and in the UK.
Oh, totally.
The idea that you have to believe 100% whatever the cause du jour is. You're not allowed to have any deviation. And even if you are 100% an ally, if you don't deviate on this 199.9.123%, then all of a sudden you're going to be, cast out and tar and feathered. It's the idea of it's okay to have different opinions.
But not for them, Michelle, isn't it? Again. Yeah, I mean, I totally get and respect what you're saying and support you there, but it's not for them. You have to have the right thing. I mean, we've got Michael in there saying one cannot be guilty of wrong thing. Well, according to them, Michael, as you know, yes, they can, and it's shocking, really. Paul Hammond is saying here, people think that safe space is about not making scary stories. Yes, that's actually come into it. Some of these progressives of the code actually want all this stuff in the show. They don't want the scares and the thrills. I mean, look at them. They are absolutely wetting themselves with the fact that there's a drag queen coming into the show, where the rest of us are actually crapping ourselves, to be quite honest, to see how outrageous is that going to be? How is it going to push people further away from the show? Because right here in the UK now, that's a very contentious issue, as is this other stuff that he's pushing in, which could explain why the ratings went down on the first few episodes as well. Thanks very much for joining us here in the chat as well. It's great to see you all. Sherry is saying, inclusive on our approved nice list, and everyone else can be treated badly, emotionally immature. Where do they draw the line, though, in show business? Because here's Russell going on with all this stuff. He's been very vehement in his speeches as well at the awards ceremonies, we all know, over the last couple of years. He's very, very sort of dictatorial in what he's saying. And yet we have two people that will disagree with some of his aspects into the show. Where do you think do you think I'm right in saying hypocrite?
Well, he's actually said in the SFX magazine, in the interview there, they talked about how far is he going with the progressive stuff. And he said that the culture, what representation in the culture was being weaponized, and he said by the right wing, and he's going to balance that up. So he sounds as though he's going to war and he's going to persist until the other side loses.
Well, we mentioned that article. Sorry, Michelle, just to point out, we've mentioned that article in the SFX magazine in one of our other shows as well. And everything that Russell talks about there is right wing. It's not, to be quite honest. he and his people working on Doctor Who assume anything that they disagree with is right wing. Women's rights are not right wing, Russell. Women's rights are still, even more so today, a battle that needs to continue because they are being eroded on a daily basis. They really are. What are you saying, Michelle?
Well, this is a system that's going to eventually eat yourself, like in any revolution. When you look at the story, in the French Revolution, and why we study the American Revolution for being unique is usually the fact that the people who lead the revolution near the ends are the ones that are on the chopping block, because they're going to reach a point where they are not that radical. Like, it's too radical even for the radicals. And so this idea, I think, of trying to please everybody but pleasing nobody. And I think Russell is trying to do that. He's trying to make a show, trying to make a mass appeal show, but at the same time, he's pleasing nobody. So, because there's always going to be, everyone has their limit of how far they're willing to go. And that limit is going to be different from somebody else's limit. And so when they hit that part, the other side's not going to be happy.
I was saying to JT yesterday, while some people are saying, it was okay for him to do Isaac Newton with different racial colouring, so to speak. He's not going to do that with the Beatles. He won't do that with certain things. So in other words, he's inconsistent. Therefore, what's the blooming point? Yeah. And if you're inconsistent, like you're saying, Michelle, people who you've started the revolution, they're going to be unhappy with their leaders and the people who are supposed to be on top of the pile because they're going to go, no, why can't you have a gay Beatle, a black Beatle? Why can't we have that? And you're going, well, exactly, you've created the monster, mate.
Yeah. But as you're saying now, we're not going to get a white Steve Biko, a legend in his lifetime, one of my personal heroes. We're not going to get a white Nelson Mandela. So it does seem to be hypocritical in a way. And I just worry sometimes about these agendas that all these people are. What exactly are you pushing here? What are you impressing on people? Because people will see the truth, or they should see the truth. And I am very worried about all these youngsters that are coming through with some of these tweets that I'm sure the majority of us see here, which are blatant aggression. There seems to be an awful lot of unnecessary anger there from this generation because they're so busy trying to fly a flag when actually they've created their own issues and they're fighting an issue that they've created. And certain people who are 60 years old and in charge of television shows and have lived through real trauma should know better, in my eyes, and should be telling the kids what's right from wrong, not trying to jump on a bandwagon, making yourself relevant.
The thing is, some of the arguments made by people like that on representation, it's coming from they think there's ignorance on our side, but there's ignorance. I mean, goblins are safe to a degree, but goblins are a trope as well. I'm not going to say what trope. I mean, you only have to read certain literature. Christina Rossetti's Goblin Market is troublesome. You look at anybody out there who doesn't like what we're saying, you type in the trope of goblins, and I think RTD stupidly, because he is pompous. It's funny because he also slagged off the classic series and said it was full of pomposity, the Doctor, and yet he's pompous. I don't know how it switched, but if you look up the Christmas episode with the goblins, it sounds so safe because you haven't got any kind of humanoid kind of evil or anything. It's a safe one, except you're using a trope, and he loves the word trope, so I like to use it back because RTD's brought it back into the lexicon that he doesn't like the trope of a wheelchair bound evil person. So I'm just reminding him of the trope of goblins and certain races. RTD, look it up.
Yeah, it's all very, it doesn't, you're saying, you use the word consistent, it's not there. I'd like to say hello to Paul and Merry Christmas to Paul. Why is it wrong to have a drag queen in the show? For me personally, having worked with proper drag during my career, I just don't think it suits Doctor Who. And we'll look at the episode, of course we will. But I just think it's pandering too much, that a desperate act to try and get that old Crohn's show viewers watching this in both here and in the States, if you know who I mean. I've got no time for him, but it just seems to be a little bit desperate. Plus, of course, it's a bit of nepotism, isn't it? Because it's a mate of his that he's cast in the show. But we will be talking about that as we come up to looking at what's coming up in the new series. And don't forget, everybody, if you are watching the Christmas special, the BBC has today confirmed that at the end of the episode is the usual trailer, the traditional trailer now heralding what's going to be coming in the series after. So I'm sure we will be talking about that.
God help us.
Sherry says, so thank you for Paul. Thanks for that comment. Thanks for joining us. They weren't given the memo and activated to go against Nolly. There's nothing really. I mean, there is a part of this whole thing here because again, in Nolly, I'll let you find it for yourself. But I had to go. Oh, here we go. But it wasn't mentioned after a little while. And there's a certain person that's in that's coming into next year's Christmas special. That's all I'm saying. Peter's saying here, I'd love them to make 1984 today to see what they change. Well, yeah, that's going to be interesting. What else we got here? What else got here from everybody here? Gosh, thank you very, very much for everything. Thanks very much. What's this Pete saying? Forgive this, but maybe Shooty will play with the Beatles on the roof, filling in for Billy Preston. Sorry to bring colour into it. Well, I've said it before on the show, haven't I, guys? We don't really want to talk about all this stuff, but they've brought it into Doctor Who, so we have to. And that's one of the sad things about it. We should actually be here celebrating the fact that this Time Lord is traveling through the universe, through time and space, fighting monsters, and we should all be enjoying that. And we should be excited about a new Doctor like we were in the past.
And they were getting a full new season in how many years?
Sorry?
They were also getting a full new season in how many years? And that's what we should be excited about.
Exactly. Yeah. But because they're all putting all this element into the show, we have to talk about it. And as fans, what else would we talk about? We're talking about the show here and what they're doing to the show. And my opinion is there's now 3 versions. You've got proper Who from 63 to 89. You've got New Who, which is 2005 to what? Well, it depends where you came on board. For me, it's 2017, but you might want to take it to 2022. And now you've got Disney Who. You've got RTD Disney Who coming up because absolutely they are part of all this. They are, they have put in a lot of money here. Woodhouse 122, thank you for joining us. Nice to see you, mate. The Wokies were not pleased by RTD hinting that Helena Bonham Carter might be appearing in the show. That's exactly it. And that's the problem. It really is. I mean, it's judgmental, isn't it? And she, I think Doctor Who would be bloody lucky to get her in an episode or 2. I would hope that they would give her 2 episodes because she's that good. Get your money's worth.
She's the next Doctor after Shooty. That's what's going to happen.
There's a bigger role.
She'd be an amazing Ronnie.
Yeah,
she'd be an amazing Ronnie.
Yes, somebody said that in the chat. She would be an amazing Ronnie, actually, because she would honor that sort of element of being the villain, but with that sort of twist.
The Ronnie come back. I think we're done with the Master. Let the Master rest for a while, but the Ronnie as this, villainous female character, that would be really fun.
I'm actually more or less, I personally, Michelle, don't want to see anything from the original series in this new run because I think they'll kill it. For the same reason as they've done with Davros. And as we've said on the show before, and as people have said in the chat before, if you don't want to use somebody like Davros, if you want to change him to be more sensitive to what you assume the audience is today, which is not correct, I would hasten to add, don't bloody use it. That's why I don't think we're going to see the Daleks or the Cybermen anytime soon, because they're problematic.
He found Davros so problematic that, like I said in the documentary, in his own house, on the top shelf, pride of place is Davros.
Yeah.
Inconsistent is my favorite word at the moment when I apply it to our show.
# inconsistent Davis.
He's trying to appeal to so many people's point of view. He doesn't even know what I think he believes anymore. I think his head is spinning and he's trying to I should think, okay, this,
At least in Phil Seagal's day, when he had all that coming at him, it was production. It wasn't about issue, and it wasn't about your own personal issue being the top of that as well, and everybody blindly following that and building on it. His were all about look, cost, design, all that sort of stuff, wasn't it? Music, get rights. Oh, bless him. So he had it easy. But we don't know about that. I mean, this is all coming out. We have to, we're just going to have to wait and see, aren't we, Who viewers? We have got Shooty Gatwa coming along on Christmas Day, December the 25th on BBC One and Disney Plus outside of the UK and Ireland. The publicity has started. In the UK, we have these. These used to, they're still called billboards, but they're actually, of course, now electronic. This one is from Scotland Road in Liverpool. Tom Baker's old stomping ground. And these things are now electronic. So whereas in 2005, they were just big posters that were stuck on these things, now they advertise all sorts of stuff. And I reckon Disney would have paid for that. I don't know what you guys think, but I think they must have paid for a lot of that.
I think so too, yeah.
Well, they're expensive, aren't they? I can't see BBC Studios being able to do it all.
BBC Studios would be a stick figure, like a little drawing stick figure. Little stick figure TARDIS.
Well, it'd be interesting, Michelle, to see if it's going to work, if the viewing public of the Great British public have actually taken any notice to any of this. He's also had a lot of covers over the last wee while. We've got the new SFX edition. They are heavily featured in the TV Guide magazines for Christmas as well, with various pictures of himself and Millie. And yes, indeed, Mr. Davis gets in there. He gets his photograph. He's everywhere at the moment. He's like a rash. But let's see if it's all going to work, because we're now coming up to the ratings game. So before we play the ratings game, everybody, and don't forget you can play in the chat as well. Let me just remind you as well that the Star Beast, now we go on this via the overnights only, okay? Star Beast got 5.08. What was the second one called?
Wild Blue
Yonder.
Yes, not the Deep Blue Sea. That's a song. The Wild Blue got 4.83. And the Giggle got 4.62. Okay, so we can see there is something going down. So let's now talk about this, everybody. It's time for the ratings game. So with the ratings game here now towards the Christmas Day episode, we are actually looking at comparing this to the Giggle, which, as I say, was 4.62. So everybody in the chat, we're going from 4.62. Right. So get ready with your estimates. This part of the show. Michelle, what are you going to say as an overnight rating?
I am going to go higher.
Show. You're going higher?
I'm going to go higher, and I'm going to go 6.0.
That is quite a bit of a jump. 6.0. Michelle. Pamela Brennan, what are you going to give as your estimate for the overnights on the Church of Ruby Road?
I'm going to go higher. I'm quite shocked at the Regeneration getting 4.6, but it is a Christmas one after Strictly, so I'm going to go 5.3.
Actually, I think it's on before Strictly this time. Is it?
No, I've seen Strictly's on before it, believe it or not, and after
Gosh, that's
is the
really early for that, isn't it?
Yeah, so 5.3.
Brendan is going with 5.3. Phil, the Church on Ruby Road, are you going higher or lower than 4.62?
Right. I've had my dinner, been drinking since breakfast. I'm probably tired at this point. I'm going higher, and I'm going to go 5.1. I reckon all the people that tuned into the Star Beast, they're going to come back, plus a couple of interested people, or other people who just might be asleep in front of the telly. It's 5.1.
Phil is going higher. 5.1. The part of the show is so tense, I feel I need a curry. Paul, the Church on Ruby Road, are you going higher or lower than the Giggles 4.62?
I'm going to go higher as well. And I think sometimes Christmas episodes do quite well to give a captive audience. So I'm going to say 5 million on the dot.
Paul is going higher with 5 on the dot. Time now. Go to the chat.
Can I point out I'm going to watch it now, just in case I'm the one that takes it above the 5.0 and makes me win?
You could do. Kirsty is saying bang on 5 for the Christmas Day episode. Church.
That's cheating. That's copying.
But if it is 5 now, I want a steward's inquiry.
Peter, 6.5 million question mark.
I admire your optimism.
Yes. So, similar to Michelle. The Giggle got 4.62, don't forget, everybody. So Woodhouse 122 is going higher with 5.1.
Good choice. Good choice.
Darren is saying 4.5, so going lower. Simon wants to know what's on the other channels. It could be that the British public may say the same thing. Sherry, is going with lower, 4.3. Michael is going higher with 5. I'm going to say 5 on that, not 5 plus. Stop cheating. It'll be 5, Michael. Bad. Hello to Garbage, who's joining us during the ratings game here, who says he's now arrived in Scotland for Christmas. Where else would you have it? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Simon is saying definitely higher, unless the other channels have anything on. That's why I think first time viewing number is daft. My show. Go on the first one. Oh, and Kirsty is also saying, welcome to Garbage.
So you've got Sing 2 on ITV1 and Home Alone on Channel 4. I don't know if that changes.
Oh, now that could be good for Doctor Who, because both of those, of course, are repeats.
Quite old.
Quite old for Home Alone, yeah. Oh, and Peter's doing some research there as well. Morecambe and Wise on BBC 2, Emmerdale on ITV, Home Alone on Channel 4, all at the same time.
Emmerdale could do it.
Emmerdale, for those of you outside the UK, is a massive show here in the UK. It's very, very popular soap opera.
Well, it got beaten by I'm a Celebrity, didn't it? So
it's all in the air here, isn't it? Okay. Garbage is giving us, I knew he would. Garbage is saying here, Christmas ratings. Ooh, he's going higher. The Giggle was 4.6, yes. And he will say an optimistic 6.3 million. So he's going higher with 6.3. Okay, I think that's all we've got from the chat now. So thank you, everybody, for that. Thank you very much for putting in your guesses on the ratings game. Well, who knows where it's going to end? So what we will do is we will all put those into the accumulator, and we will be back to review the Church on Ruby Road at some point next week. If you keep tuned to the channel, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so that you get notifications of when we will be back live in Christmas week to review that very, very episode. And then we'll see what's... oh, I didn't give mine, did I?
No, you didn't, no.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll give mine. Yeah,
Nice
you have to remind me. Yeah, I've got. Yeah, so the Giggle was 4.62. I'm going to go higher with 5. Right, so there it is.
Everyone's
higher. I'll go higher with 5 because it's Christmas Day, and I don't think you're right, Brendan. Emmerdale may do it. Oh, Timescales has also given us a 5 here. Fantastic. And Simon is saying 6.5. Okay, brilliant. Kirsty, hello there. It would be interesting to compare numbers for Strictly and EastEnders. I'll see what I can do to get everybody. And Garbage is saying here, Emmerdale is actually the best of all the soaps at the moment. Well, there you go. There you go. Gore Vidal, interesting point here. Too many streaming services and huge YouTube content for any program to have pre-2010 ratings. Davis is going for the young demographic. That's it. I mean, one of the things, Gore Vidal, about this, he's trying to go as the BBC are. I mean, the BBC content is shocking, to be quite honest, because it's all aimed at anybody over the age of 5. You know, it really is. It's just nonsense. It's just really nonsense. We've just had one of our longest running quiz shows axed because they changed it to be representative, and it flopped completely. It was going for, 50 years or something? Yeah, very popular sports quiz show. Amazing thing. And because the kids aren't watching it. But what they're trying to do, Gore Vidal, is they're trying to get these kids to buy the TV license. It's all about the TV license and trying to get that demographic in. That's why they push the iPlayer so much. Personally, I think they're losing the battle. And it'll be interesting to see as we move forward now where the BBC's future actually goes. What else we got here? Oh, now, Hound, you've got Strictly before, so it may run over, says Pete. Strictly isn't live for Christmas. They recorded it weeks ago, just to let you know. So it won't be. It's edited to fit inside its time. They're all recorded, the shows on Christmas Day. They hardly do any live stuff anymore now. Kirsty, Merry Christmas. Have a lovely evening. She's at a Christmas party now. We'll see you for the review show. Have a lovely evening there. Yes, that's it. So, okay, so we will come back to that with those ratings in our review. So stay tuned for that. Listen, everybody, what a show. Thank you so much for joining us. We've had really great numbers here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you all for your comments. Do tune us again when we all get back together to actually review what could be a mix of the Gremlins and the Goonies. Who knows? So do come and join us. As you can see, we're all really excited.
Actually, I am. I'm actually looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Look at this. Louise Jameson is excellent in Emmerdale at the moment, says Woodhouse 122. I'm glad she's still in it, actually. Yeah, that's really, really good. Yeah. And Govardale is saying he's enjoyed the show. Great. I hope you all have as well. What can we say now apart from Merry Christmas, everybody? Merry Christmas. Have a fantastic time with all your family, your friends, whatever you're doing. Thank you to the Whotastic panel for coming on for the Christmas show tonight, where we've actually we've had some dirty laundry this evening as well, haven't we? So we're geared up now, I think. We're geared up. So thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas to you lot.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone at home.
Exactly. Merry Christmas to you all at home. Absolutely. We will see you for our review very, very soon. Merry Christmas. Look after yourselves. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.